All right, good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have had a good September so far. It's crazy that it's almost the end of September. I feel like September 1st was yesterday, which is kind of crazy. Today, I am showing you guys a pretty much 1 month update in my Hobonichi Cousin. I mentioned it in a previous video, but I was able to snag my dream Hobonichi cover just randomly at 5 a.m. one day on eBay. I was able to get it and purchase it, so I'm super thankful. Thank you to everyone who was looking out for me and helping me with that. But this is the My Manga and I cover. I believe this came out in 2020 or 2021. I love this cover so much. I do have a clear cover on cover just because it does get dirty really easy and it does attract a lot of dust. This is what I've been carrying my cousin in. It doesn't feel too bulky or too chunky yet, which is great. And I'm able to fit this A5 book with the cover on top in my purse just fine, and I don't have a super huge purse, so that's really cool. I've also been back to using my Zebra Sarasa pen. This is the Sarasa Dry Air Fit grip pen in 0.5. This was my favorite pen last year, and I'm back to using that in here. Just gonna get right into it. I do have the black gingham hon, and so I've just tucked the cover in both sides. Here in the front page, I just have little stickers, stamps, and such. I did put my little pamphlet from this year's thing in here just because I think it's funny and a little terrifying, but I just slid him in there as I don't know, a cute little reminder. And then this in this front page is one of the adhesive pockets from Hobonichi. So I just put it right there so I could stick little things in here. So right now I just have my week-sized pencil board, this letter from my husband, and then this picture of us that has moved from book to book if you've been here for a while. I started using some of these a little bit differently than in the past. So this 2024 calendar I have actually switched over to using to track my workouts, or just whenever I move my body intentionally, I guess you could say. Previously in my old Hobonichi Cousin, I had did that tracking on this layout, but I thought since I'm kind of experimenting in this book for the rest of this year that I would try something different. So I've just highlighted all the days that I have gone to the gym or worked out, moved my body at all. And I like tracking it this way. I don't really care about the mode of movement, tracking it that way. I just want to see trends and how much I move my body. I think for 25 I might try a dot marker of some sort, or maybe tiny stickers or something to do in here, just because this highlighter that I've been using, I've just been using a pink, do I have it in here, a pink Sharpie marker, and it just smudges really easily. And then for the yearly calendar index page, I am experimenting with using this layout as a last time I layout. You're familiar with those, and it's essentially just tracking dates of the last time that I did something of significance. I have getting an oil change for the car, deep cleaning our fridge, deep cleaning the bathroom, haircuts, things like that. I thought this might be beneficial to look back on and to just track some of those more important things, more important maintenance things, I guess you could say, and to be able to plan ahead for those. And so I only really tracked August and September, and then my car oil change in June. I didn't want to go back and find all of these dates, so I left them blank. I think I might try and find some purpose for this top and bottom box maybe, but I do like using this for a tracker of some sort for more of the one-off things that might be a little bit harder to track in some of the other layouts. And then I did go ahead and backfill all of the monthly calendars in here. I like to put quotes on the side usually, but I haven't been doing that. So I backfilled these from the previous books that I have used this year. And then I really started using these calendars in August. That's when I got this hon. So I'm basically just putting events, doctor's appointments, important like school things for my kids, and then every time I post a YouTube video. And then these lines that I've been putting in have been for when I start a book and then finish a book, which is a little bit different for me, and I'm trying that. And then something else different that I've also been doing that I've really liked is I have been highlighting the week prior to where we're at. So when I am in my weekly spreads, and I'm setting these up for the week, it's really easy for me to reference where I'm at in time, because like September was super busy, August was really busy, and so for me sometimes it's easy for me to get lost in here. And so highlighting the previous week to see that, okay, I'm in week 38 has been really helpful. And so usually at the end of the week I'll just go in here and highlight it. Last month I did a gray, which was kind of hard to see, so then this month I tried blue. I don't know if I'll continue with this color, but I have really liked doing that. Something else differently that I've been doing for September is some of these days where I didn't have events happening, I have just put in like a little highlight or event of the day, just romanticizing some of the little things a little bit more. I think it's easy for me to like celebrate like big events or I don't know, important dates that I have in here, but on some of these like slower days I just want to romanticize them a little bit more and just highlight things that have been bringing me joy. So I've been putting those in those days as well. And then I also got this from Lindsay Scribbles. She's been doing this in her cousin, but instead of highlighting or instead of putting this line at the very bottom row, I have been putting them kind of under this like date header, I guess you could say, for the books that I've been reading. And I think that looks a lot cleaner than when I do it this way. So I've been liking that as well. And that's pretty much September. September's been very busy. Since this is really busy, I haven't been doing a lot of decorating or quotes or anything like that. I might do it in the future, but for right now, this is purely like functional organizing my life. So that is the calendar. And then we get into the weeklies. So I started this book at the end of August. I think I got my book on the 22nd. And so I'm using my weekly pages very similarly to how I used my cousin in the past, if you've seen any of my previous videos. I've changed a couple things. So in the past, I only did this kind of like writing, not really kind of journaling, but it's usually me talking about like the day ahead, the week ahead, things like that. And I only used to do that, and so something different that I've been doing is putting my appointments and events in these like daily sections and just highlighting them so I know that they are upcoming. I'm definitely a weekly planner person. Like this is the page that's always open on my desk that I'm referring to the most, and so that has been super helpful for me and I've really enjoyed that. And then I also have my task list here that I put on a Saturday and Sunday. It's just a mini Alistair method, and it's just a running to-do list of work and personal things that I need to get done that week. And then if I have any other room or the energy or want to decorate the pages, I will. I'm a very visual person, and if something is not pretty, I will not use it. So I always try to utilize that inspiration when I have it to make my pages visually appealing or pretty, because it just helps me be more productive and just stay a lot more motivated. On some of these days, like I put a quote in here that I found. This is a picture I found on Pinterest, more doctor's appointments and things happening during my week. And then these columns again are for me just talking about my day, how I'm feeling, things that are happening, things I want to remember. Yeah, I've really been enjoying the weekly pages. I like how they look visually, and I like how they are functioning for me, my work life and my personal life. And so this was last week. I don't mind covering up some of these dailies with more like artsy stuff because I have plenty of room in the back to journal if I want to. And I think it's nice, it just breaks up the page a little bit. That was last week, and then here is this week, which has been a little busy. So more quotes, more appointments, a little sketch. I've been doing a lot of my work to-dos digitally this week just because that's been easier for me to track. So I had a much smaller guy right here this week, but that is how the weeklies have been going. I've been having a lot of fun. It's been really nice. I usually only draw in here or do something artsy when I feel like it. It's not something I want to put pressure on myself to do, but when that urge does come, I definitely want to take advantage of it. So that's how those have been looking. And then I have the daily pages. So I am someone who does not follow the dates, but I like having dates and some of this extra stuff on the page because it makes it less intimidating for me to go in and write, which is something that I've kind of relearned about myself as I come back to the cousin. So if the date is important to me, I will include it in my little writing portion, but a lot of the times the specific date is not super important to me. I don't ever really look back at these. I do a lot of memory keeping and journaling in here, but it's more so for me to kind of purge and get out of my system on that day, and again romanticize it in that moment. But once it's in here, I never really go back and reread these, so I don't ever really care about the dates unless it's super important. Then I'll mention it or put it in there. But these first couple pages were me trying to just kind of figure out how to write in my cousin in the daily pages again. And then you'll see as time moves on, I'm starting to get into my groove. So there's pictures in here. These are watercolor swatches. This was a watercolor painting I did at the library one day. I just grabbed a book and I found a picture that I liked and just did a painting of it. Some pages are just, again, journaling or me just expanding on my days a little bit. More pictures. If you don't know or you're new to my channel, 444 is my angel number, so I had to share that and celebrate that in here because I'm so thankful for all of you, and I know the universe is always looking out for me, so I always have to acknowledge it when it happens. This was the Atlas Stationer sticker that I got with my 2025 Hobonichi order. Just a watercolor painting, some little receipts, quotes. It's been nice not filling up the entire page of some of these dailies. I've mentioned it in a previous video, but part of me has really enjoyed using blank space as a interlude for my journaling pages. So I do love when the entire spread is filled out, but lately I have been trying to utilize empty space as kind of a breath or an interlude to my pages, which has been kind of nice. And I don't know, it relieves some of that pressure, I think, to have a whole page filled out. This was an ugly painting I did of a snake plant and I didn't love it, so I covered it with a receipt. And then this is this week's journaling, so just a sticky note, my coffee order, the new Dochi album, things like that. And then the final thing that I have back here, since I got this book in August, I started my messy notes pages back in August just so it'd be easy to find. This is something that I've always done with my cousin. Since I don't do a page per day, usually at the end of the year, I have a bunch of blank space in the back. And so I like to use this space for messy notes, pen testing, literally just anything. It's a space for me to just be really messy and a little more chaotic and take notes when I need them. So back here, I really just have random notes and little scribbles and just things that I needed to write down somewhere. And so I just use my book for them. These were budget finance layouts that I was trying to figure out. And so those are really all the notes pages that I have currently. But yeah, I really like having this space back here to utilize for those things. And that is basically it. There is one page back here that I've been using. I think it's the My 100 page, and I've just been using this to track how many days I've been in the cousin. I have zero want or, I don't know, flexibility with myself, I would say, to move out of the Cousin. Like, I'm gonna stay in this for the rest of this year, but I thought it would be fun just to see how many days I have actually been in here. So I've been checking these off like every 3 or 4 days, and that's basically how I've used my book. I don't really have anything back here. I don't have any like companion books or supplemental books with this right now, just because I haven't felt like I needed it. For 2025, I think I might have one separate like work notebook, really just for notes, because I can't put a lot of that stuff in here, and then maybe a finance tracking notebook, which again, if I didn't share my book on the internet, I would put it in my Cousin, but since I do share my book, I don't want a lot of that floating around. And so really this is gonna be my main guy for 2025 and the rest of this year, and it's going really well. I've had 0 itches or impulses to move things, and overall I'm just super thankful and feeling very much at planner peace, which again seems a little silly because this is exactly how I felt last year when I was using the Cousin, but it feels very full circle to come back to this and take a lot of the practices that I did in my A6, my Filofax, and things like that, and put them into the Cousin. So definitely glad I planner hopped this year because I learned a lot about myself in my planning, but I feel very settled and content to be back in here. So that is essentially how I am using the Cousin currently. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, and definitely let me know how your guys' books are going for you, and if you're feeling a little bit more settled now that we're a little past Hobonichi Day. And I always like hearing your guys' feedback and how you guys are feeling, because I feel like it's kind of like that hive mentality where like a lot of us will feel very similar during specific times of year, and September is kind of one of those crazy times. So definitely let me know if you feel like it. But that's all I have. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.